This is really dumb. This is so dumb that it demands my full attention.
Why does it seem whenever a CEO does something stupid in public, when faced with well-deserved backlash, they can't help but double down? As this video went viral.
The reason why is because they're like, I mean, if you want the real reason why, it's because a lot of them are, in a lot of cases, I think there is a higher degree of low social intelligence. That's the reason why, and they're used to being told that they can do whatever they want. They're entitled. Yeah, that's weird.
A roll of a tennis store handing out a hat, only to be stolen by this
Wait, hold on. Let me watch this again.
Went viral of a tennis store.
Damn, bro, like, bro, he just ninja looted that shit. He's clearly handing it to the kid.
A roll of a tennis store handing out a hat, only to be stolen by this grown man and immediately stuffed into a bag, as he obviously knew it wasn't meant for him. And as that snippet spread, the tennis star Camille.
Oh, so this is the guy. Oh, so he even made a. He even talked about this.
Large Shrek,
wait,
tennis
what?
guy, stated that hat wasn't for the man. Help me find the kid. To which he did, and was able to get that young fan a hat, giving every.
Oh my god. What a stupid asshole. What kind of a guy steals a hat from a little kid like this? Yeah, this guy's great. Oh my.
Here, a happy ending, with the exception of that Polish.
The man who snatched a child's hat has been identified as a Polish CEO.
Piotr Scissors scumbag. It's apparently a millionaire CEO of some paving company, and as a fan of baseball who goes to a lot of games, I can somewhat respect the concept of anything flying into the stands is fair game. And if there's a
it wasn't flying, it was being handed.
Ball falling into my section, I don't care who you are, I'm probably gonna fight you for it. That being
honestly, I think that as an adult, like this is just the way that I'm talking about like me. Like if I ever caught a home run ball in like a fucking, you know, baseball field, I would just give it to a kid nearby. I would. If there's a kid standing next to me, I'd just give it to him. Because it's like he can remember that for the rest of his life. For me, it's just a ball, right? Like I'm
too bad vegetation's claimed most of it now.
Right? Like, because you want to create like that magic for a kid. And I think he'd probably do the same thing. Real talk, right? And I think anybody would do that.
It's time for your regularly scheduled contact.
Because you're a good person.
This is
it's not even about being a good
Nothing
person,
to
bro.
report.
Like I just think that's just the way it is, right? I mean, sometimes you hold the door open for people. Like, I mean, that's just,
it's fine.
Just what you do.
Does that question have anything to do with our operation?
Said,
Not really.
I still don't think you can snatch something out of the grasp of a kid really being handed
nice
it.
has no
So
bearing
I don't
on
feel
complete
bad when that scissors scumbags Polish paving company gets a negative review bomb with comments that I can't quite understand, even when it's translated. But the worst part is, the CEO allegedly replied to their post, stating this was a disproportionate online storm. Yeah,
it is disproportionate. Yeah, it is. It's disproportionate, but you shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have done it. Like the thing is that it would. This happened because
that
of your
weapons
behavior.
trader was talking
You
about.
did something that caused this to
I'm
happen.
picking up hostile machine life forms.
But in real life, there's a rule. Who is first is first. Let's not make this into a scandal. It's just a
What is this? Art of the deal with an elementary schooler? Like, what are you doing?
If you were faster, you would have it. And I can simply understand his emotions. When being canceled, you should never apologize for mom. As no matter what, you're not going to win them back, so you're better off catering to whoever supports your actions,
Plant life
no
is
matter
clean
how
most of the central area.
pathetic
Big
that
plants
may
too.
be.
I don't even agree with that. I think that if you do something and you're just like obviously wrong, you're an asshole. You should 100% just be like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Like, yeah, my bad. I don't know why people. It's such a huge problem because people either apologize too much or not enough. It's okay to admit you made a mistake, but the problem is a lot of people you should never apologize if you're not sorry. If you're not sorry, don't apologize. Now, the problem is that I think this guy is sorry. I think
referred to court. And then there was
sue anybody, you fucking retard. Shut up. Shut up, you stupid fucking moron. Your company's what do you mean? You're gonna sue somebody over the comments that they made about you on the internet? You're gonna do anything. Shut the fuck up.
this other Polish response, allegedly from an attorney, bringing up all his long-winded lawyer speak, demanding everybody immediately stop violating their personal rights.
Oh, no.
Your comments within 3 days.
Wait, he's trying to get everybody to do. I would like to invite you
That should
to
be enough.
immediately
Let's get these back to the
discontinuation
trader.
of any content or videos that violates the personal rights of my power and mine, including the deletion of the previously published comments within 3 days. Bro, shut the fuck up, bitch. No.
Public apology and
Shut
pay
up,
us
bitch.
10,000K, which roughly translates to 27,000 US dollars within 7 days, to make amends for moral harm and image losses. Or else we're taking
No one's using that. Nobody's gonna give you any money.
We've already saved your comments. They
Is this a
literally
challenge
could
to the
have
internet?
crafted a worse response to
Yeah.
the theft of a hat.
What a
But
stupid
somehow
bitch.
these CEOs just aren't used to being treated like the scumbags that they are. And I don't know
Well, they're not used to being held accountable. I think that there are a lot of people who are wealthy who use legal methods in order to bully people into doing certain things. And sometimes it's a good thing, right? But oftentimes it's not.
about Polish law, but American law says I can call that CEO
A stupid
bitch.
bitch.
Because even if those
Yeah,
comments on that
there it is.
site aren't genuinely his, that video from that tennis match is all the evidence
Yeah,
I need to
nasty
come
little
up with my
bitch.
opinion. As I think it's really just about when these CEOs finally get exposed, they immediately revert to their, but I get special treatment because I'm rich and powerful.
Right.
Completely missing the point of, if you just kept your head down and didn't even address it, yes, that video is currently going viral and getting...
See, that's the thing that a lot of these guys don't understand. And I think it's a big problem that a lot of people have is that they don't realize that whenever people make up their mind that you're wrong, you're wrong. It doesn't matter that you think that you're right. It doesn't matter if you have the right opinion. Whenever the internet, in general, makes up their mind on something, that's the end of it. And I've learned this myself. Like, for me, every time that when I realize that I'm in a situation where we have entered into an area, and this is not an example of this, I'm just saying in general, you've entered into an area of dogmatic thinking. I see myself out. I'm like, okay, all right, let's not talk about this anymore. There's no longer a honest conversation to be had. Let's move on. It's just that simple.
of views, but the internet is so ADHD, even if you think your viral moments will ruin your life forever,
Nobody
I'm
cares.
sure if you saw that MFer is not real girl in real life, you wouldn't even notice her. But these idiots think they can lawsuit themselves out of the limelight, not knowing it only extends its notoriety. That's why I know if I ever get exposed snatching a foul ball from a Make-A-Wish kid, I'm not suing anybody for 27,000 Polish pennies.
Yeah.
I'm simply saying if you think that's me in that video, you're a racist that can't tell us apart.
That's right, bro. That shit was AI, it's fake, that was somebody else, it wasn't me. That was not, guys, that wasn't me. I never said that.
So if you appreciate
AI
my
is
insights,
crazy
write a commentary
nowadays.
on the tragic status that is
There
today's
you go.
reality, subscribe to Decoy Voice, or any other random Asian guy channel. I probably couldn't tell the difference either.
Well, there you go, right? Has the CEO never addressed the issue, it'd be forgotten in less than a week. You're right. A lot of people don't understand how to deal with controversy. Like, this is why I usually don't even fight people about stuff. I don't. If everybody is mad at me for something, I don't give a shit. I hate to say this, but there's been a big problem with people in Britain that are using British flags. This is the new form of alt-right extremism in Britain. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. How could they? I don't know. You see that? Yeah, it's their own flag. Man. The basement back. Well, they're having a big anti-migration, anti-immigration like protest kind of scene. You can see a lot of people doing this. They do this every year. I mean, I feel like this one's definitely a lot bigger, right? So yeah, they gotta do something. Well, it's pretty obvious that they're trying to do something. I mean, like, you can clearly see that. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if I was them, I definitely would. So there's apparently like a very, very big protest that's being planned.
Okay, that's everything the supply trader asked for.
Well, this isn't exactly the kind of video I
these
thought I'd be
chores
making
are
on a
real
Sunday
pain in the
morning.
butt,
And just for the purpose
The
of any
resistance is a valuable ally to
MI5
your
agents who are
By
watching this
helping
video,
them,
I
we
do
also
not
help
support any kind of
ourselves.
coup
So
action
no,
in the
I don't
UK.
think they're a pain.
So why then am I talking about it? Well, I'm talking about it because of a post made by Ant Middleton, a former Special Forces soldier and all-round celebrity. And here's what Ant had to say. On the 13th of September, I will ask for something of the British public, British taste.
Some fucking V for Vendetta shit. Oh my god.
That I would never ask of if I weren't willing to lead the charge. If certain individuals can ask for our throats to be with zero accountability or repercussion, then that allows us free rein to defend ourselves in such a manner that will rattle foreign hostiles and our government to the very core. Choose a side, because this is ultimately what it has come down to. See you on the 13th of September and prepare your shield.
That is nuts. I wonder how many people are going to show up to this. Somebody earlier today said that they're shutting down all public transportation and public transit in anticipation for this event.
Wow, that is quite a poke. We're going to dig into all of it, but right from the outset, you can tell that there are people now working in the Metropolitan Police looking at that and thinking, oh God. Okay, let's dig into this. Ant talked about September.
I mean, look, if I was a police officer, I would be like, oh God, too. I'd be like, oh fuck, I gotta deal with more shit. Yeah, this day's obviously gonna be chaos for them.
13th. Now, why does he pick that day? Well, many of you will know that Tommy Robinson has organised a protest on the 13th of September in central London. And these protests are by far the biggest that we see in the country.
Man.
Usually around 250,000 people go to them, but
That's a lot.
given the current mood, I wouldn't be surprised to see that at 500,000. And guess who's been asked to speak? Yeah, Ant Middleton. Ant Middleton will be taking to the stage on that day in front of potentially 500,000 people.
Wow.
In fact, let me just find some footage from one of the past protests so you can see how big these really are.
Yeah, I don't know. Holy shit. God damn. This attempt in France? Yeah, y'all are really popping off over there, huh?
Look, I've been to a few of Tommy Robinson's protests in the past, and it is by far the largest single gathering of patriotic British people that you will find in one spot.
Yeah, I could expect
And
that.
that one spot, by the way, is usually Parliament Square, right next to the Houses of Parliament. So I'm not saying for certain that Ant Middleton is trying to launch a political revolution on the 13th of September. But what I can say for sure is that if you wanted to do so, then that is exactly the right time and place to do it.
Yep.
You've got all of the right people in exactly the right place.
I don't think that they have enough of the public on their side yet. I know that there's a lot of people in Britain that might disagree with me on this, but I think that a lot of people are victims to their own echo chambers. I try to do my best to spend time researching and following and looking at opinions that are different than mine to see like kind of what the consensus of certain issues are. I think that this is still a contentious enough issue that it's gonna need to get worse before it gets better. I do. I think they're getting there. They're definitely getting there. but it's gonna have to get a bit worse.
I will be there on the 13th of September, and I should stress that I'm not there to launch a political revolution or anything like that.
And by the way, this is my opinion. I'm a foreigner. I've never been to Britain. This is just like my vibe check from what I've seen on the internet and how I've seen, you know, footage. That's all.
Going to get involved. Hopefully I can meet some of you there. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, please do come along. Maybe we'll be witnessing history. Maybe we'll just have a good time.
Sure.
Who knows? Now, I planned in this video to talk all about how Tommy Robinson probably wouldn't allow some kind of revolution to start at one of his rallies. And the reason is relatively simple. I've been to a bunch of them in the past, and they are run like clockwork. Everything is peaceful. Everything is coordinated with the police. There's usually very...
Revolution would be a mistake. They just need to form a political party and then consolidate power around that party. That's what they really need to do. Like, you can't do it violently. I mean, a lot of these people don't have guns. You're going to instantly get crushed by the military. And then the people that are in charge are going to get arrested. Like, it's
Understood,
a deal, right?
042.
I mean, like, and again,
Marker on
I'm being
target.
pragmatic.
The desert heat is going to make resupply efforts difficult to beat.
So,
Please
a
make sure
foundation
you're
for a
ready
party?
before you
Yeah,
go.
that's what they really need to do. They need to make a new party. It's like, I mean, because in my opinion, this is like, we kind of had this happen in America. The MAGA Trump Republican Party is, in my opinion, a different Republican Party than what Mitt Romney ran as a Republican on in like 2012, or what John McCain ran as a Republican on in 2008. Like, it is a fundamentally different class. It's different, yeah. Like, he effectively remade the Republican Party. Can you explain the difference? Yeah. There's less of a focus on religion, less of a focus on sexual orientation, as long as it's not being pushed on other people. Like, there's no longer the anti-gay movement as much as there used to be. There's less of a focus on the social conditioning of, like on like making weed illegal. I mean, I think those are three of them that I would come with right there. And then I think also there's more, like I would say there is more uncertainty with big business than there used to be. And that's my vibe. Like, I'm not, again, like I don't have like a fucking statistic to prove this, but it seems like the new Republican Party, and very, very anti-war. Basically, America first, more distrustful of corporations. I think that's kind of the changes that have happened. And so I feel like that, if Britain really wants to have a chance at making a difference with this, that's kind of the direction I think they need to be going, personally. Consolidated against a certain cause, it's probably harder to do that. That's logical.
Hypothesis. Shield caused by enemies in local vicinity.
There needs to be a revolution. It's as simple as that. Oh, Tommy.
Oh.
Now, let me just be clear. In a few recent podcasts, Tommy has spoken about the need for some kind of revolution. But he's always maintained that he needs a peaceful political revolution, not a violent revolution, right? Or a coup d'etat, as it were. So is that what Animator is getting at? Is he saying, I'm joining the Advance Party, or I'm starting my own
It's
political
hard to
party?
get an accurate
I thought
picture
he
from
does
this.
say, now
Our
is the
satellite
time to
resolution
choose
isn't
a
so
path,
high.
right? So
Hopefully they
maybe
deploy
that's
some
what
new
he's getting at.
satellites
But
soon.
let me just
general
remind
idea
you of
is
some
good
of the
enough.
other language he used, and
You don't let
you
anything
can
get in
decide
your
for
way.
yourself whether that sounds like joining a political
What does
party.
it sound?
If certain individuals can ask for our throats to be with zero accountability or repercussions, then that allows us free rein to defend ourselves in such a manner that is
That implies preserving the rights of the preparing your shields, free reign to defend ourselves. I mean, this is absolutely like active political language message that it's like, yo, we're going to do this, you're going to do that. Like violence, yeah, potentially, right?
Hostiles
Really?
and our government.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like this is just an objective truth. Like I'm not making a judgment on this. I'm just saying that I think that's what it means.
Choose a side, because this is ultimately what it has come down to, and prepare your shield. Look, let's be honest, that's fighting. That doesn't sound like George Michael the party. When he's talking about, we have free reign to defend ourselves however we see fit. That's not political speech, as I would traditionally imagine. For sure, maybe that is one option, and that's definitely like
the comparison was them slitting their throats. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, this is very clearly violent, or it implies the threat of violence.
Most politically acceptable option that could be referring to, but it just doesn't quite match up with the language, does it? Let's be honest. Another fairly innocent explanation that I just thought of is maybe he's referring to some kind of extreme neighborhood watch, right? We've actually seen this start taking place in certain areas in the country, especially in Northern Ireland. I was watching Freedom Dad the other day, and he was following some
mistake, by the way. Vigilante forces are always problems, and they will create the same problems that the migrant gangs will, given a long enough timeline. Because people that want to enforce the law, people who are drawn to organizations like that. It's unfortunate, but there it is.
Home size around at like midnight, and they were basically just and children. So that's really sure. I think that might have been one possibility.
If you have a neighborhood watch like that, I think that's what the outcome's going to be. Like, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, that's what I think.
Maybe he's talking about killing the houses. I mean, after all, you've got hundreds of thousands of
Why do people keep saying that over and over? You realize if we had lost that war, we'd be considered terrorists. You know that, right? Like they'd say George Washington was a traitor and a terrorist, and they would have hung all of them. Like, I mean,
right, lads, follow me. We're going in that direction. Now we'll start following out, then, yeah, pretty sure just walk into the house department. The police are, I mean, what can they do? They're going to be massively outnumbered. Are they just going to start sporadically firing into crowds of thousands of people?
I've heard about you guys.
I don't
You've got a
think
squad.
so,
Just
that's
remember,
kind of
if
like,
you need it,
well,
can
then
I
you just
help
get
you
like an English Bloody Sunday. I don't think they would do that, and I don't think the order would be given for them to do that. And even if it was, I don't think they would follow that order. See, I'm pretty sure you could just walk en masse straight into the House of Parliament, and very little would be done about it. But then you've got a whole other question, right? What do you do once you're in there?
people are going to get nervous and scared whenever they see a huge mob of people taking over a government. The same thing happened with January 6th here in the U.S. That was definitely an L day. It's going to scare people. It's going to freak people out. No, I don't think doing something like that is a good idea. It wasn't a good idea when we did it. I don't think it turned out well at all.
Currently, our struggle
to have some kind of sit-down protest? Well, sure, okay, but then eventually you are all just going to get rounded up and arrested. The police will just pick you off one at a time. Or are you actually trying to, like, take control of the country? Are you going to try and depose the king? Are you going to try and seize control of the army? Because whoever controls the army realistically controls the country.
Yes.
And in all fairness, if anyone's going to have any chance of seizing control of the army, it probably is a former special forces guy, right? Because of
yes. If they want to get the power back,
are always so stiff.
if they're not going to do it democratically, they have to do it through the military. If you control the military, you control the country. Just like what he said. It's true. Everybody knows it. Yep.
what he's done, he can command the respect of the average everyday soldier. Now look, all of these ideas, even me hearing myself speak them out loud, are completely insane. Batshit crazy, right? You know that, and I know that. And yet you're still here listening to me, and you're probably thinking, yeah, that's plausible. That's how bad Britain has become.
Jesus.
Now, we are now in the situation where we're talking about like a coup d'etat, the kind of thing you only see in like South American failed states, but we're talking about it in Britain. And we're not going to take that position. Maybe some of you are, maybe some of you are really switched off. But for those who are still listening,
That's the maddest ones. Like, I don't know, like, like, they are ready for a tremendous
thing like, yeah,
the number of people that feel this way gets larger every single year. Like, in 3 years, if nothing happens, it will be worse than it is today. In 1 year, if nothing happens, it will be worse than it is today.
happen. I could see that taking place. I could see people going along with that. That's a really bad sign, because that means that Britain has fallen all the way down to those South American countries that have had exactly this happen to them. Scary, scary thought. Look, I'm sure that Aunt Middleton isn't planning anything that extreme. But the fact that we can even discuss it and that it's actually technically plausible and possible is really, really telling. Here's a bit of interesting British history for you. It wouldn't be the first time that a member of the British Special Forces has planned to overthrow the government. Because back in the 1970s, David Sterling, the founder of the SAS and, frankly, all modern special forces, planned to do exactly
Our leader
this.
told me our names, Jeff.
David
I
Sterling
guess
didn't
that
get
means
very
looks
far
like
in his plans or his attempts.
have
Very, very different today. We see protests up and down the country, sometimes
He didn't do a whole lot, right?
20 on a single day. And right now there is a campaign to raise the colours,
Who opens a
which is
sealed
basically
gate
putting
with
the English flag
explosives?
everywhere.
There's gotta be
even
an
in
easier
places
way,
like Tower
right?
Hamlets, where there are basically no English people left.
Yeah.
Take a look at this.
Ethnic makeup of Tower Hamlets by single year ages. Sure.
Look, the mood in Britain is absolutely febrile, especially amongst the English people. And we're just sick of our government. And I'm not talking about one specific government. I'm not talking about Keir Starmer's Labour government. I'm talking about successive governments since at least 1997, when Tony Blair took power, but you could argue even further back than that. We've had all of this anti-democratic stuff just rammed onto us. I'm talking
I
about...
think that's the problem, is that a lot of these people feel like they're not being represented in the government whenever they are anti-migration. And not only are they not being represented in the government, but their speech, even discussing their lack of representation, is being criminalized. And I think that it's been happening for long enough, and the issue has gotten so extreme that it's radicalized enough people to maybe actually make an impact. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but it sure seems like it's going in that direction.
Mass migration, which people have consistently voted against, but it was forced onto us, right?
It's important to know this isn't specific to white British people. I have British, born Indian, Romanian, all those. It's great. They always feel the same way about illegal immigration. And I think that to say that there is not a racial and a heritage component to this, I think that it's wishful thinking, maybe, but I don't think that it's accurate. I think that the truth is that there is a racial component to this, whether you want to admit it or not. But you're right that the primary component is people coming here that are not observing the laws and causing problems. Like that is the greater evil, in at least even in the minds of the people that are the racially motivated ones.
Joining the ECHR, nobody wanted that. Okay, the creation of the Supreme Court effectively overrule what the Parliament decides.
Yeah, you're right.
Why are we doing this? We've basically created these quangos, these quasi-autonomous
It's heading for that rocky
non-government
area.
organisations that can limit what Parliament does. That's crazy. That's why the Rwanda scheme, for example,
They've created these apparatuses so they could diffuse people's power to vote. That's the reason why. They don't want people to be able to push back against any of these different initiatives. So they create different ways that they can filter out and diffuse people's voting and make it not matter.
I don't think it was a good scheme, but that's why the Rwanda scheme could never get off the ground, because of all of these other organizations that were getting involved. Madness. Absolute madness.
Analysis.
We've stripped
It is
our
the
own
ruin of a former
democracy
human
away
residential
from us.
area. Large numbers of humans
So I don't think
resided
we
in such
really
concrete and metal
understand the level of
shelters.
anger that
The
exists in this
structures were
country.
referred to by
And for those
names such
people,
as
the Jacob
apartment
Rees mobs
complex.
of the world, okay?
I think that's another big thing. He's right about that too, is that there's a lot of people that don't understand the amount of disenfranchised and disaffected people there are that are unhappy about the way things are. But I think that conversely, there's also a huge amount of people that like the way things are, and they think that it's virtuous to bring in all of the migrants. I think that like both of these things are true at the same time. Like it's probably, I don't know which side is bigger, but I bet it's probably about 30% on both sides that feel very strongly about this.
I would strongly recommend you go and read some of the replies to Ant's original post. I'm not going to go through all of them, but the gist of it for a lot of people is this. I'll be there, I'll help you out, let's do this. And that's how people feel in this country, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of what Ant's original intention was with that post, and I really don't know, a lot of people are interpreting it as him saying, right, we're going to do a coup.
Yeah.
And not only are they interpreting him saying it as that, they're then replying and going, yeah, sure, I volunteer, let's get this done. That's crazy. The fact that that is a move from a lot of people in this country is crazy. Anyway, look, I am genuinely more than most of you really curious to hear what you guys think. Maybe you think I'm making a big deal out of absolutely nothing, just one post. Fine, you could be absolutely correct. Let me know that if I've changed my mind. Sure, maybe you think that I'm right, maybe you just don't have a clue what's going on. Maybe you just want to say, hey, I'll see you there on September 13th. Sorry, the dog just found a tennis ball, which is great fun. He's very happy. This is like the third tennis ball we've found in these fields in the last couple of days, so someone keeps moving them, and he keeps finding them. He's very, very happy. Yeah, thanks, Jack. Sorry, I got a little bit sidetracked. Look, if you haven't, please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah. I think that testing free speech laws is definitely something that a lot of these people probably especially now with the Online Safety Act and other types of internet identification laws that are coming out. I think that it's making people, like, it's making people more aware of the fact that their speech is being policed. And I think that now you're going to have a bigger pushback. These people are less than 10%, there'll be no coup. I don't think there's going to be a coup either, but to counter your point, what was the percentage of actual Nazis whenever they took over the government in Russia, not Russia, Germany?